students. Now I would like to explain something about the topic I gave you when you compute cosine with two input values. The first one is and the second epsilons. You know, when you do the topic, you compute cosine when you enter the values of the first one h and the second n, you have this expression. That's very easy for you because you can use for iteration to compute Sn, and you can stop when you go to n for the function. Okay, but over here you have the other definition when you enter the absolute error epsilon. It's defined by this, Sn. This is expression, and the second is zero. A0, that is the true value of cosine x. But in fact, you don't have this value. Over here, when you study calculus 2, you can see that when you have n big enough, you can approximate epsilon by this, by this. You have over here when you compare this one, okay, but in fact, when we have n big enough, you have this, you have this, okay? You have this definition. With n, over here with n big enough, you have this approximate value, absolute error over here. Okay. So, when you look at this one, you say, okay, over here, that's it, this, okay, that's it, the term. So over here, you have h over n over n factorial. Okay. So over here, with a value n big enough, you can get the absolute error. That's defined by this expression of this, of this term, of this term. And now when you write the program, when we enter h and epsilon, we use this term, when you compare. So firstly, you need to enter x, and the second you enter epsilon. For example, you enter epsilon, the absolute error with this value. For example, of course, when you enter, you can enter the other value, not only this value. Okay, and normally when you have this, normally you have this, and normally you have this, you know, this value. This is the value you enter, and then the absolute. Over here, the absolute error epsilon. Normally, before we stop, you have the condition for iteration. This is the condition for iteration until you have this, until you have this, and until you have this. At that time, we stop. So we said this is the condition we use to compare for working with iteration. For example, for iteration, this is the second expression, and the epsilon over here, that's it, this term. This is the term. This is the term. So when you write this program, we use this idea. You understand? We use this idea. You can use while, or you can use for iteration. No problem. At that time, we use this condition. For the second expression for this is the condition for while. Okay, this is good. Understand? Okay. Okay, thank you.